What's up, guys? Welcome to the Mississippi Real Estate Podcast, hosted by Ryan Watson.
And I'm Trip Sproul, where it's all about real life, real talk, and real estate.
Join us as we dive into the stories, trends, and insider tips shaping the world of Mississippi real estate.
Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or you're just curious about the market, we've got all the insights you need to navigate with confidence. So if y'all are ready, let's get real.
All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Mississippi Real Estate Podcast. We have a very special guest today, Mr. Richie Lott, and his company is a.k.a. Advanced Steam Extraction. We are so grateful for you to be here today with us.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to hearing your story, and I know a lot of it, but I know we got a lot of listeners that hadn't never heard it, so
absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We were talking a little bit before the show, though, about haircuts and yours, and you were talking about Shannon Elliott, and he was talking about how he started to get curly hair, and I guess used to didn't have it. And what I was going to do was finish and say, same, like I've gone back to a short haircut. We were talking about how college, had the college swoosh or the mullet, college party mullet or whatever. And
speaking of college, well, finish your story.
And anywho, I had short hair in high school, we were talking about, and then I was like, I never had a curl a day in my life, and all of a sudden I started growing my hair out, trying to do kind of what everybody else is doing too. And you mentioned perm, buddy. I had a natural fro perm, like nobody's business. I have to find a picture, and we'll have to put that up there. But you started talking about curls.
I can't wait to see this picture.
Yeah, it's
I've seen some goodies of you,
dude.
recently.
This one you wouldn't even recognize me, man. It was like
long.
legit. I mean, it would get long if I had a hat on, like you were mentioning hats. But if it goes out longer, like I get hard time. If I had it long like I did in college, trying to do like everybody had fine hair and swoosh. Dude, I'm talking about. I'm seriously like curly hair. You would have thought I went and got a perm for it, for real. So anyway, that's what I wanted to add on to your conversation.
But yeah, speaking of colleges,
okay. Let's get it out of the way.
It's gonna be a great day today for you.
Okay, Richie. Before we get in your story,
okay.
Who's the college of your choice?
SEC favorite team.
SEC favorite team.
That's easy for me.
Okay.
Because there's only one school in the state of Mississippi, and it is the University of Mississippi.
Let's go! Okay, yes, hotty toddy. I got my second Rebel. Yeah,
I told you.
Okay.
I went to Ole Miss, so that's
same.
Yeah.
I want to get into that.
Oh wow!
And look, right back here, if you're listening, you can't see this, but if you're watching, I've got a cowbell.
A what? A cow what?
Cowbell. Up here on our little shelf. By the way, we're in our new studio.
Brand new studio.
I don't know if you're watching, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Got a brand new studio. Our space looks similar to our last one, but this is our new spot.
Richie's our first guest in it, so we're excited about it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're growing. We're growing.
It's been fun for sure, and it's gonna be all right. So look, well, good. I got a fellow Rebel.
There you go. Got an Ole Miss fan.
I'm not outnumbered today. Anyway,
they won this last weekend.
No, they got beat by Georgia.
Yeah,
Georgia got us in the fourth quarter.
But y'all beat LSU though.
Oh, that was so wonderful. I have to say that.
It's always fun beating them.
You don't get a chance to do it often, but when we do,
it's sweet. It is. I know. Anyway,
State lost too.
I know, man. The Mississippi
Oh
schools.
my gosh, that was a heartbreaker, man. State's game. I mean,
they had a tendency of doing that.
Way more competitive this year, man.
They're doing great.
They're a lot more better. They're better than what they were last year. I'm proud of the Mississippi schools, man. I'm not one of those that can't be excited. You know what I mean? If they're not playing on this, I'm okay with it. So, but I hate that both schools lost. I don't even know what Southern Miss did.
The Egg Bowl is gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
When I went to college, we always had friends at State. So anytime baseball was going on, we'd go to State because they were great in baseball.
Yes.
And so football time, they'd come to Ole Miss, and actually for us guys, we were actually checking out their women, and they were checking out ours. That's basically what it was for. That's something different. So, we used to go there and party with those guys.
That's awesome.
And I say party, we hung out and had fun. It was good out. It was great.
For sure.
Man, baseball.
What you do in college?
Well, and look, Ron Polt. He's the GOAT of baseball coaches. I mean, he is really one of the greatest. And I think he's got a great book out there on the game of baseball. And Mississippi State's got a great. Both teams have a really good atmosphere. There's definitely a competition there. But man, I don't think you can go wrong with watching a college baseball game in any one of those two stadiums for sure. Anyway,
we could go on about this all day.
We already went down a rabbit hole.
I'm seriously looking forward to this. Richie, let's just get right into it. Like, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? What's your story?
Yeah, man. Before we get into your business,
start wherever you want to.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Pearl till I was about the 6th grade, and went to school at Pearl. Had a great time there. My dad thought it was a good idea for my brother and I. I've got one older brother, 4 years older than I am. He'll argue about that, but 3.5 years. Anyway, we decided they bought a chicken farm out in Smith County. And so we raised 56,000 chickens from a carty.
Wow.
So
that's a lot of eggs.
Well, we didn't have eggs. We did broilers, which are meat chickens.
Oh, meat chickens.
Yeah, we did the chickens that would go to Kentucky Fried or Popeyes or wherever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew them from a little yellow chick till they were about a 4-pound bird, and then they come picked them up and took them to where they took them to. But we don't want to talk about
train station.
Yeah, just put them on the bus, let them free range for the rest of their lives out in the field, and it was all beautiful.
Yeah.
But no, so it was a lot of work. But my dad taught us as young kids how to work, and so we had cows, and we did the country thing, and enjoyed it though. It was good. It was good for my brother and I. Did a lot of hunting, fishing, that kind of thing, riding 4-wheelers. Doing what we did. So
being boys,
it was, and it was fun. Doing camping out and jug fishing and all that kind of stuff. We enjoyed that. So
good old Southern stuff.
Yeah. So definitely went. After that, went to college. Went to high school at Raleigh High School and graduated there. Played football all the years that I was there, and enjoyed that in high school. Got some injuries and stuff like that. Didn't proceed anything past that, but went to college at Ole Miss. Enjoyed it. Had a good time. Graduated there, and I've got a daughter that's actually graduated there. She was a DG at Ole Miss.
Sweet.
Yeah. So my oldest didn't go. She wanted to do dental school, so she went to dental school and did that. And my youngest
my sister-in-law.
Yeah, your sister-in-law.
Wait, what?
Married to my brother. Yeah.
What? Okay.
You didn't know that?
Okay, we'll come back to this. Keep going, Richie. You're doing great. About to learn something new.
He's family. By marriage.
Okay.
By marriage.
I learn something new every time on this podcast. So
I thought I told you that.
I don't know. You may have, but
we're learning.
I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's it's been great. Met my wife back in high school. We met back in, I think she was in 10th grade. And we dated and broke up, and she wouldn't let me break up with her a couple of times. We finally broke up with her, and she'll tell you that, not me, but she'll tell you that story. But it was good that we came back together after college and got married, started having kids, and I got into this business with a friend of mine, partner with him, and we worked about 7 years together, I would say, and decided to split ways. And so I did my own thing, and he did his, and he did something different. So it's worked out really well. I stuck with it. I enjoy it. There's God at a young age put an impression on me of restoration. So and different people have different callings. And my calling is restoring things. I love to restore things. Now, I don't care if it's a house that looks abandoned and you have to fix it up. If it's, a car onto older cars, I love to go to cruising the coast and stuff like that, like working on old cars. So I've got 2 of those. So restoring that means something to me. Taking something that looks bad, making it look better is what I like to do.
Sounds kind of like Jesus in a way.
It does. It does. He does a lot better job than I do. But
we ain't scared to plug Jesus.
No, we're not scared to put faith out there.
Absolutely. Well, that's the main part of my life is that faith in what God's put in you. But trying to find your calling, I believe, is very important, because if you can find that, you'll enjoy everything that you do. So we do, of course, water damage restoration, stuff like that, mold remediation. So taking something that looks better. Can imagine if your house, you woke up in the middle of the night and you hear shh, just the water running, like, oh my gosh, what is that? And it's coming out your ceiling and falling down. You freak out. What do I do from here? And I know we can get into that, but that's kind of my calling, is to restore things. And it's been joy in my life to be able to do that this long. I've been in business since 1997. So,
How long is that? What's 19? I do some math here. Long time.
Let me take off my shoes.
Yeah.
I can't count that high.
Well, that just means
plenty experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to go back real quick and talk about, you said that you and your wife met in high school, but then y'all broke up, came back together in college or after college?
Right after college. Yeah.
I mean, that's, you hear, I think you hear stories. Me and my wife are similar. We didn't date in high school or grade school per se, but we knew each other. Sometimes you just have to do that for maturity reasons. You know what I mean? Figure out who you end up going to be and who y'all are, and the fact you came back together just showed you that also God's plan, purpose. And so that's also, you can throw that out there too. You know?
For sure.
So that's great, man. I'm glad that all worked out, and you got beautiful kids. Now I want to know how y'all are related. So your daughter,
so I've got 3 girls.
Okay,
I got
middle
3
daughter.
Girls. Yeah. My oldest daughter married Ryan's brother.
Is that the brother that like?
So my full-blooded brother. I got lots of brothers, and it'll take a minute. He's laughing because he knows it's true.
Okay.
It'll take a minute to get into all that, so we'll leave that for
another
podcast. We'll
go straight to the point.
Yeah, that might be another day, another podcast. But my full-blooded brother, and just if me and him are standing by each other, you see it. We've got very different personalities, but the same, just how it works. But anyway, he married Jessica.
Is that the one that wouldn't talk about his duck hole on the phone
yes.
when we were going deer hunting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
I called him.
Okay.
I said, where y'all going duck hunting at? And had him on speakerphone like this.
As we're driving to my deer camp,
we're going deer hunting. And he said, I said, where y'all going duck hunting at? I'm just curious. He said, you got me on speakerphone? I said, yeah, me and Trip are in here. He said, take me on speakerphone.
He did, man.
I said, bro.
I looked at Ryan. I said, I don't even duck hunt.
He don't care. He don't care where your duck hole is.
And you know what he said on the phone? He goes, he may not, but he got buddies.
He knows somebody that does.
Like, man, I don't even know where these places are.
I said, all right.
So y'all see each other.
Yeah.
Y'all can see each other on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time.
What did you get your degree in at Ole Miss?
Business.
So just BA in business. Yeah. Okay. So when you get out in the work world, what did you start doing? Restoration immediately?
Immediately.
Okay.
Went into restoration. Kind of tell you how that story went. The friend of mine from Pearl, he and I were best friends, did everything together. He moved off to Atlanta and got into selling. He was really good at Radio Shack. He worked here at Radio Shack and then worked his way up to running a store in Atlanta. And he his mom passed away, and he came back and wanted to be around his dad since his mom died. And he was like, hey man, I'm looking at bringing my business. I started a janitorial business. And so he brought it, and we got into business together and kind of grew it from janitorial side to floor cleaning, restoration, and that kind of thing.
That's kind of how you learned about floor cleaning.
Absolutely.
Right there.
And this is old school. This is like the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 91, 92. So I mean, it's been a long time since I've been in restoration. So I've been there a long time. So
I want to just another shout out to Pearl, because we've had a lot of people on this podcast that are originally from Pearl, and it just goes back to show I feel like there's just a misconception, stereotype about Pearl in our area, but there has been so many, that community so strong, and there's been so much good folks and businesses that come out of that area. So shout out to Pearl. When you said you're from Pearl, I was like, hey, we've had a lot of common denominators here. People from Pearl, people in banking.
Yep.
People that go Mississippi State.
Well, now I'll tell you, I moved to Brandon, so all 3 of my girls went to Brandon, but there again, I went to Pearl, and my business is in Pearl, and I love Pearl. I'm on the board at the Pearl Chamber. I love Pearl. It's great. Love Brandon.
Yeah.
Love the mayor lives down the road from me. Great guy. I mean, love this whole area.
Yeah.
Want the best for this whole area.
Yeah.
And so,
same.
But you're right. It does get a kind of bad stereotype at times. But it's been great. I think the mayor's doing really well. I think police chief. I mean, I know those guys personally. I know their hearts. You hear bad press all the time on stuff, but
that's everything.
If you know their heart, to know that they have a real heart for God and wanting to do what's right.
That's right.
Are they going to screw up from time to time? Absolutely. We all do.
We're human.
So
that's right. So what was the, that's exactly right. What was the business Can you tell us what the business name was before when you and your partner were together?
Yeah,
it wasn't Advanced. Was it Advanced
No,
Steam? Okay.
no, it wasn't then. I changed all that. It was TPS was the name of it at the time, and we grew that business, and it eventually got taken over by Rainbow Restoration.
Okay.
And it kind of grew, and then finally it dissolved. But yeah, the Lord's blessed me with it, and I've had it since '97, and just been kind of growing. I'm not trying to grow the business to the size of a one of these national franchises. Not interested in that.
Yeah, local.
I do local, like want to help people, want to keep it smaller, so I know exactly. I got hands on.
Sure.
I'm one of those type guys that like to keep hands on. I'll make sure I got good guys, honest guys, dependable guys. At 1 o'clock in the morning, it's hard to pick up the phone and call one of them and say, "Hey, can you get out of bed and go handle a job?" Or myself.
Yeah.
If I can't get them, guess what? I go. So they're not going to like me tomorrow whenever they come back. But if that's what it needs to be, it's what it's going to be.
Yeah. I can vouch for that too. I actually worked for you for a little while. You remember that?
I sure do.
You're full of surprises.
Yeah, I did. I learned a lot of
you learned how to vacuum?
No, look, I'm gonna tell you what.
Once it's there to see
he would tell you,
the house.
There's a lot more than just doing this.
Ain't no doubt.
There is some techniques and professional ways that I learned under him when I was there that I'll take a lifetime. You know, I'll take with me the rest of my life. And I learned a lot of great lessons. It was a great time in my life of learning that and trying to figure out where I was supposed to be in life.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known about real estate then. And because I feel like a lot of times, and God's timing's perfect, and I'm in it now, real estate, where I'm supposed to be at this time. But anyway, it was a great time in my life.
Yeah, but you learned something there with Richie.
For sure.
And I joke,
and all that to say, this man, he will go out of his way.
Oh, I can
if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, don't matter. He's gonna go do it.
Yeah, I've seen him do it. I plan on sharing. I plan on sharing testimonials I've had with Richie, and he's not, selling, just selling it. Their team gets out there, and I've needed him in a pinch a couple times, and so we'll get into that a little bit later. Sure. So they do a great job, and I was more or less, I know it's way more than vacuuming, but I got to dig on this guy when I can because you just never know.
Man, our job sucks.
There you go.
Those triangles, making those triangles.
I want to so just kind of a little side note that I just said that you've done some jobs for me. I met you when I got in with the when I left my corporate job and I got back into sales. I got in with Brandy Gordon, my insurance manager, Tyler and Brandy, at the insurance center, and I started going to the B&I groups that you, I think, were one of the OGs of, right? Did you start that?
No, I didn't start it, but I've been in it longer than anybody else there. I've been in it, I think, 23 years.
Yeah, wow.
I'm one of those that, if I don't know. It's just I commit to something. I've committed to it.
Well, that's a good one.
It is.
That's a good one to commit to. So I got to know Richie at this BNI group, and I'll let him explain that a little bit better. And I was building both businesses, and I heard you speak a couple times. We met, and I'm thinking when would I ever use this service?
Yeah.
It didn't take long in real estate before I realized I called Richie more times than I thought I would have. But anyway, we'll get into that a little bit. Why don't you, real quick, before we get into how ASC became a thing after you and your partner sold, split or whatever, doing y'all's own thing. Why don't you talk about the BNI group a little bit? Because that's been a big impact on your business too. And I think it's a great thing for people if they're looking for something in our jobs that they can that's a good thing to get involved with.
Absolutely. Sure. BNI's Business Network International. We meet once a week. One thing about this as a networking group, we network for each other. Our group has about 45 members at this point.
It's a solid group.
It is. And a lot of guys been there, or women both, been there for many, many years. And that's what really, we're basically a family. And you become a family because you're helping one another. So you only have one of each, I guess, profession.
Seat.
Yep, you get a seat there, and we did $3.9 million worth of business in that 45 member group
amongst each other
this past year.
That's amazing.
So
Wow.
it's a lot of money, but it's trying to help one another in networking. And that's what life is all about, is networking.
That's right.
Plugging people together.
Yeah.
I've got a guy that was in our BNI group, had left. He needed some help. I found a lady that would help his business, being able to, share her name with him, and they call, and man, he called me. He's like, I'm fixing to get back in the group because this lady's going to be able to help me to where I can get back in. So it's all about people helping people, and it's connecting them together, kind of like what y'all are doing.
I was going to say, that's part of one of the reasons why we do this. Networking is one of the cool things that comes from it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there's no better way, and there's several around, but y'all have a really good one. It's organized, but you really get to know the folks that are in there, and like more than just the business, but the person. And we always talk about people by people, and people, you create that relationship, and it's a relationship driven thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So shout out to the BNI group over in Flowwood.
I visited a couple times, and I thought about joining, and just never did. I need to jump in there.
You do. We're looking for some photography.
We need a photographer.
Yeah, we do. And
I can't join as a realtor.
No, you got a long line in that.
I know.
They got one that's got it locked up, but there's a long line of folks that want that seat for
Absolutely.
Sure. Well, tell us how. Okay, so you were partnered up. Y'all decided, hey, we're gonna go do our own thing. No big deal. No harm, no foul. You got into ASE, and I know you've got a lot of. I mean, I feel like you've got a mastery in this. I mean, master certified. I mean, I know you've got a lot of certificates. So, just talk about ASE and how the seriousness level you take it because of what all this means.
Gotcha.
Like your certifications. I know you have some of you have some certs that not everybody has and everything like that. So
yeah, and kind of give you an idea of the IICRC, which you'll see on most every truck around that does restoration. You'll see something that says IICRC. That stands for the Institute of Inspection and Cleaning Restoration Certification.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. That's why it says IICRC. But it is our standard.
Yeah.
Okay. So they create standards. It's the only standard board there is. So if we had to go to court, let's say we were doing a water damage and something went wrong, whatever it was, and they had to go to court. Well, that's what they would actually go back to because that is the standard. So that's why we love to get certifications through them because they create our standards that we go through. So this is the right way of doing it. This is the wrong way of doing it. So imagine if you had a sewage damage at your house, like maybe the city came out there and blew out lines and sewage got in your house up through the toilets, and we've seen it where it spewed out and hit the ceiling. I mean, it's disgusting, right? Okay.
That sounds really
But
gross.
what do you do to make sure that your family's safe? How do you know that you're not going to have E. coli or something like that? How are you going to clean all this up? Well, they've got to have a standard of, hey, this is how this is supposed to go to make sure you don't have issues with that. So that's why we're so big on going through these standards. And we are the most certified IICRC company in the state of Mississippi.
There you go.
But we really believe in those standards. Of course, I've had years to be able to go to these schools, and I actually send my technicians to these schools. So we are what's called a certified firm. So my guys go to these schools, I go to these schools. So it doesn't mean no good for just me to have the certifications. I want my guys to. So I want them that's going out there to do the work. Of course, I'm in the field every day too, but I'm not with them every day. But I want them to know exactly what's going on. But I've got guys that have been with me for 17 years. I mean, I've got guys been with me for a long time, and they understand, they know, of course, they hear me regurgitate stuff all the time that I've learned, and they pick up on that too. Maybe they're not master certified yet. I've had several that were master certified that I have brought through the program. But it's kind of like anything else. You kind of do a journeyman and work your way up to become a master. But I'm also a floor inspector. I'm the only certified floor inspector in the state of Mississippi when it comes through the IICRC. So we imagine if you go buy flooring from a retail store, they put it down 6 months later, you've got humps in it. Let's just say it was wood floor and it's humped up. What do? Call the retail store I bought it from. They come out there, oh, this is a manufacturer fault, not ours. So manufacturer says, let's get an independent floor inspector out there to determine what the problem is. And that's what I do. And I have been to Mammoth Lakes, California, doing floor inspections.
Oh, wow.
I've been to Vegas 6-7 times.
So
doing
it's just not in the state of Mississippi. You travel to do the floor inspection. So
and you learn something new about you.
Yeah,
I didn't know you did that too.
I've got a guy in Fresno, California, that just because we've done some work in the past, he trusts me. So a lot of times he'll drag me out to any place he does.
Man.
And I've inspected Reno, Nevada. I mean, all over the place, which I enjoy doing.
So is that like some type of vendor list or something you got on? Like you're like a preferred vendor somebody calls? And
he had an issue with the Beau Rivage on the coast. He had put, I think MGM in Vegas is the mother of the Beau Rivage. So it was MGM product. So he had put a ton of his product. It was padding. It's called carpet cushion underneath the carpets there. So he brought that same cushion, but they were having problems with it. And he needed to find out what the problem was. Well, nobody could figure it out. So he looked it up. We through the IICRC and found out that I was the only one that was certified to do that. So he brought me down and we started looking at it and found out exactly what the problem was. And the main problem was he's put a ton of this in Vegas, which has no humidity. And now you're bringing...
because of their systems.
Well, just because it's dry climate
out there too.
Because you imagine bringing it to Mississippi. I mean, as hot and wet and moist as we are. And they had no HVAC going in the building at all during that time, which created moisture in there, and that was creating a problem. But since then, he was like, man, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. So he flies me all over the place. I finally told him, I said, look, I can't keep doing this. It takes a day to get out there, a day to get back, and usually about a week away from my business. And it became something that was pulling. He actually wanted to hire me and do some research and development stuff for him, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. So
that's about as national as you've gone.
That's pretty cool.
Came back
Learned
home,
something new about you. I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
Really cool.
Did you have to get any different licenses or something to be state to state like that, or is it one kind of fits the inspection?
It falls under the IRCRC.
Okay, sure does.
That's cool. Very cool.
Man, talk about that's one heck of a job really down there.
But you never know. You never know who's going to need you. You know where you need to go. In figuring out. So you really need to know how stuff is installed. I mean, you take for instance, if you're looking at a glue down carpet, what kind of trowel did they use? Was it a V notch or U notch? Can you look at it and tell? Did they give it chance to dry before they stuck it to the carpet? Finding out all that information, knowing how something's installed, knowing how that product's supposed to perform. We see a lot of this floating floor nowadays. And we find a lot of failure from floating floors because 9 times out of 10, it's not installed correctly. Now, are there some manufacturer issues? Absolutely. You get some stuff from China and places like that. They're just not a good quality product. But that's where you got to find a good quality flooring company that gets quality flooring. I've been through the mills. I've been out to Shaw Industries. I've been to BOU. I've been to Mohawk. I've been through their classes. I've actually watched them manufacture wood floors, carpets from a pellet, a carpet, for instance, nylon carpet. It comes in pellets and they melt it and extrude it. And so it looks like angel hair pasta coming out.
Oh, wow.
And they dry it and then they put it on a creel and they, it's kind of like thread. And then they make yarn out of it and then they crimp that yarn. I mean, there's a lot of process to it.
That's cool.
I didn't know that.
And materials, I remember when I was working with you, the different, and I didn't learn enough. I forgot more than I remember. But the different materials and types of materials, you got to know that because one cleaning product, and I'm jumping forward a little bit probably, but you got to know what kind of cleaning product to put on a certain type of material. I know we're talking about floors, but just get into that a little bit. I mean, when you're using, there's just so many different types of cleaning agents that you use. I guess you call them that.
Yeah. We've got chemicals. It's a plethora there because you have different kind of flooring. Take, for instance, carpet. You've got an olefin. Now, olefin is made out of oil, basically. Olefin. So it's not good. It is tough. But you don't want to put that in a mechanic shop because guess what? They're walking in on oil and they're bringing it back and it will not come out easily out of olefin. So like things attract when it's situations like that. So it's very hard for that to come out. But knowing that and having a product that you can use to clean it. It's not a one chemical fits all situation.
Sure.
So that's why we have 25 chemicals in our trucks, is because we want to make sure that we have the right chemical when we go out. I mean, what if somebody gets blood on carpet? Depends on what kind of carpet it is. Now, how do I know what kind of carpet it is?
Yeah,
so you think about that for
I'm glad I asked that.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking, because now
thank you for asking.
We can actually do
when you get ready to kill somebody again, just call Richie. We'll figure out what kind of carpet it is.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get that blood out.
Yeah, okay, great. We know a guy.
Yeah. So a lot of times you can burn carpet. So you can take a fiber and take a actual lighter, and you can be able to tell what kind of fiber it is by burning it.
Just burning it.
Now, there's a certain smell that each one gives off. So imagine olefin being oil-loving, so it smells like burning tar whenever it's burnt.
Yeah.
Now, wool would smell like hair. Obviously, it is sheep's hair, so it smells like hair burning. So there's different ways that you can tell what each one smells like. Nylon carpet smells like celery when it's burning, and each one of them has a different flame. Some of them sputter whenever they're burning. Some
like
have
sparkle.
Yeah, it'll sit there and sputter.
It's incredible, the different material.
Dang.
I remember riding around the truck when I was training and learning, and I would go to put a certain chemical and on a stain or something on the carpet. They're like, no, don't do that. Wrong chemical. And I'd go back. They'd be like, go grab this chemical. It's in this color bottle. It's red or yellow or whatever. And I'd go grab it, and I'd come back and use the right thing. So there's just so much. There's so much that you don't think about with this that he's an expert at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
Well, you got to think,
So much
you
to it.
are walking into somebody's business or house, and you don't have the material list they built that structure with.
Right.
So you have to determine that as you come in.
And you think about pets. I mean, you think about dogs that have, urinate on carpet and
that's a terrible smell, though.
Oh my God. And how big a dog we talking about, you know? I mean, and we've got some that have Great Danes, and imagine what that's going to be. And so the spot looks this big on top, but as it goes down through the carpet, it's spreading, so now we've got a spot this big on. So how do you kind of clean that so you don't have those odors? How do you know you're getting that out? And there's so much chemistry behind that, because when I don't know if we want to get into this, but when a pet urinates on carpet, it's a uric acid, but after 48 hours it turns into an alkaline salt. And just like salt on your dining room table, it absorbs moisture. So that urine is absorbed. That's why you have the smell, because it's absorbing moisture and the bacteria is growing. That's why it's giving off that odor.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to clean all that salt out to be able to get the moisture out, so you can keep the bacteria from growing. That's so there is a lot of science behind it, and I love that kind of stuff. The guy in Fresno called me his forensics guy, so I was like CSI. But that is true. That's what we did.
Well, don't you
really? He's flying you around cleaning up murder scenes,
because he kills a lot of people. He's a hitman. No.
Well, I think you just convinced a lot of people to put their pets outside. No more inside pets.
Producer.
No.
There's 3 of them currently in our bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
In kennels.
Well, people, it has grown. People are using pets, having pets. I mean, it's just been loving on pets. I mean, it's just grown exponentially, and it's great. Because I've got one. I've got Jack Russell. Matter of fact, he's 15 years old, so he's old, and he has accidents and stuff like that. And people say, "Oh, my dog don't TT on the floor." I promise you there's some TT on the floor. If you don't believe it, we have a black light that we can actually
I was
going
to say, I remember one time at BNI, you were like, you gave your, it was your turn to speak. I think I was subbing, and you gave your presentation, and you brought all kind of show and tell stuff, and I was floored. Like, he had these tiles up there and like little carpet samples, and you're looking at them like nothing's wrong. And you got to doing all that light stuff, and I was like, oh my God, like the stuff I was like, man, it's kind of like what you imagine when people want to examine a hotel room. Don't do that.
Don't bring a black light to a hotel.
Anyway,
you won't sleep there.
So, but let's transition a little bit, because you don't just clean up pet issues. You go a lot deeper and broader than that. You go a lot more complicated stuff like that. I mean, you're talking about when you have pipes bust and hot water tanks go out, mold. Get into some of the mold. I mean, obviously, you do water restoration. You got to dry all that stuff out, and there's a lot that goes into that. If you want to give them a quick rundown, but also I want you to get into mold.
Yeah,
because that's a big one around here. You know what I mean? With our humidity, like you said.
Yeah, especially with real estate. You know, I mean, you get into a house that might have it. But yes, we do mold remediation, but we also do water damage, and the catalyst to mold is water. So if we can stop the moisture, you can stop the mold. So get in a little bit about water damage, and it is important to dry up a situation really, really fast, the quicker you can, because within minutes, you know, the water spreads, it starts absorbing, it absorbs in sheetrock. A lot of people don't understand when water hits your floor, it runs to the baseboards, goes under the baseboards, that sheetrock sucks it up. So we get a foot to 2 foot up the wall, it's saturated with moisture. But we have probes that we come in and we can probe the sheetrock, we can probe baseboards, find out where the moisture is, go around the house finding out that. Imagine if it was just a, you know, maybe not a ceiling leak, but just maybe a toilet supply line blew off and just, you know, wet the flooring. But we want to bring in air movers, dehumidifiers to take that moisture out. And there is a science behind drying. Trying to learn how to dry something efficiently, you want to make sure that you use the proper amount of dehumidification. So how many air exchanges do you have that go through that dehumidifier that you want to try to pull that moisture out? So learning all that chemistry, learning all that math of figuring out calculations of, you know, air exchanges, how much dehumidification do we need in this process, so forth, how many air movers do you need, is so important to make sure that you dry efficiently, but not put too much equipment. So I always tell my guys, if I go out to do a water damage, am I going to put the same amount of equipment as you would? Or is it just subject to whatever you want to throw? What's on the truck? Depends on what I got on the trucks, what I'm going to put in there. No. We put the proper amount, you know, from there again, standards and guidelines. That's what we go by. We also use an Xactimate pricing guide, which is an insurance pricing guide. So you don't have to worry about, you know, if you call us out and you think, oh my gosh, what is their price going to be? We use insurance price guides. So you don't have to worry, because I always tell people it's always way too low. Because 30 years ago, we were getting $25 a day for an air mover. Now we're getting $27.50. So we went up $2.50 in 30 years. I mean, it's way too low in my opinion. However, we agree to it, and that's what we use. So, you know, people don't have to worry about pricing. We're going to make sure it's insurance price guides. So you think about water damage, you think about mold, because moisture there again, if you put moisture on a building, you're going to get mold. Case in point, we had a CPA firm that the guy rented the building to other CPA personnel. They had a picture hanging on the wall. And of course, on the back side of a picture is usually paper. And there was mold growing on it. And they're like, why is there mold growing on the back of that piece of paper on the wall? And so they took it down, and sure enough, on the sheetrock, there was mold growth on it. So we know there was some kind of moisture issue. Took a moisture probe, probed it, sure enough. So they wanted us to hold off on doing anything till after tax season. So we had to wait till the 15th of this month to get started.
It's a growing problem.
It's been there a while. So we ended up having to put plastic up to separate that section that's going to be damaged, that we're going to tear out, to the rest of the building. We put what's called an air scrubber inside, and an air scrubber basically is a HEPA filtered machine that will clean the air. We put it inside and point out the clean side out of the plastic. So we're bringing air into the room, and nothing can go out of the room unless it goes through that HEPA filter. So we create a chamber that's HEPA filtered, so you don't have to worry about it damaging any other part of the building while we're tearing out mold on this side. So we put on Tyvek suits, respirators, go in, cut this sheetrock out, and sure enough, on the back side was something called white rot. It was a white wood-destroying fungus. I mean, so it's been there a long time. Usually with something like that, you get something called Stachybotrys mold. And I know y'all probably heard of the black mold.
Yeah.
What is the black mold?
That's the bad kind, everybody. Yeah,
but
that's mold.
The bad thing is all molds turn black.
Yeah.
Because it's eating a surface. So it turns black. So is that the black mold? And what that means basically is it's Stachybotrys mold, because it's the most toxigenic mold. We start cutting hairs here, or because Stachybotrys usually shows up when everything else is not.
You're getting nerdy on us right here.
It sounds like a dinosaur name.
I love it.
This is why, hey, look, I'll tell you this real quick. This is why Ryan didn't continue with him. This is way too complex.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. I'm 100% tell you right now.
Dude, I did not know. I mean, I knew it's a big, your business is complex and complicated, and that's why you take it serious, and that's why, anyway, quick plug. I've always called you because I've heard you talk about this before, and I've got to know you, and I'm like, man, I know there's other people out there, and they probably do a fantastic job, but the trust I have is, anyway, go back to the
Stachybotrys. Stachybotrys.
So that is what they call the black mold, because it's toxigenic. Toxigenic just means it could be toxic to certain people.
Yeah, and so that means like asthma, like allergy, or what can it do if you're breathing that in a room? You don't know what's there. Like, I mean, obviously if you have asthma, it's probably not great.
Upper respiratory is the main thing. Nosebleeds, headaches, fogginess. They attribute that to having a lot of mold inside a building. How much is too much? How do you figure out what's too much mold, not enough mold? Guess what? Everybody says, I want my house mold free. You can't. Mold's outside, mold's inside.
That's true.
You're breathing it
right now.
That's right.
We're breathing it right now. You're breathing it in your home, wherever you're at. You're breathing some levels of mold. I always tell people that, just take, for instance, arsenic. If you take a teaspoon of arsenic, put it in this coffee cup and drink it, it can kill you. But now if you take that teaspoon of arsenic, throw it in a swimming pool of water and get a coffee cup out, it's diluted. It's not going to hurt you because it's diluted. So right now we're breathing mold, but it's diluted. So it's not really hurting us. But now if you start getting a house that's built really tight, energy efficient, and now you've got mold growing in it, now the levels start to rise, and you start getting issues where, especially if, somebody that has immune issues, younger kids, older people, maybe somebody that's been in the hospital, they can probably be a little more susceptible. It usually kind of lowers your immune system, so now you're able to catch other things
quicker.
Flu, anything like that, strep throat, something like that, you're bringing your immune system down because it's trying to fight off all this toxins from mold.
Yeah, gotcha.
I remember one thing I learned whenever I was working with you years ago, and I remember it to this day, is that mold, it only takes, 72 hours to grow? Which is
3 days.
That is not very long.
No.
And so if you got water laying around somewhere or sitting somewhere, call Richie. And get it dried up quick.
Well, you start getting into different building materials now too that offer other complex issues. Take spray foam insulation.
I was going to say insulation. You run into
my house is spray foam.
And quick disclaimer: don't put arsenic in people's coffee cups.
No. Small disclaimer.
I'm wondering. You fixed my coffee.
We love you too much. Don't worry about
That's Coffee Mate back there. Yeah,
we need you for our real estate.
You do run into, because you do, like you said, y'all go into the wall. So what happens when you run into? Because a lot of houses still have the pink spray in or the roll out. But what happens when you get into those different types?
Yeah, you get bad installation or blown in insulation or the spray foam, and each offers a plethora of different things.
Does the spray foam? I know that the roll in and the spray in would absorbs. It gets real wet. Does the spray foam repel it, or does it go in and does it soak in like what you naturally think of?
Well, you have two different kinds of spray foams. You have a closed cell and an open cell. So an open cell allows that moisture to go through, whereas a closed cell stops it. Now, a lot of times they put the closed cell on like ducting. Imagine a duct, air conditioned duct under a house. That makes sense. You spray it, insulate it. But if you used open cell, the moisture is going to come out of that ducting, and you're going to have dripping under your house. So you have to use the closed cell on it to insulate it so it doesn't allow that moisture to come through. So it depends on which one you have. But imagine this, if you spray inside your wall and you do get a leak going inside your wall, it goes inside that insulation and sits there. And how do you know? Because, I mean, it's a lot of moisture that it can hold.
Yeah.
So it's different products that we're learning different things. I had a friend of mine that had he had a spot come up on his ceiling in his garage, and it turned to mold. And he's like, I need you to come out here and take a look at this. And what was happening was he had a bonus room upstairs. Very rare he turned on the air conditioning. Nobody used it, just he and his wife. And so when they'd have company over, he'd cut the air conditioner on. And the condensation drain line was not hooked up. So it would only leak whenever that air conditioner was on.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it went through that insulation. And so what we had to do is cut the sheetrock out and dig out all that insulation because he had I-beams in there. So they're wood. And so you've got wet insulation up next to wood. It's going to rot it if it sits there long enough.
Yep.
So we had to tear all that out and dry it. But how do you get that insulation out? Because, I mean, it's spray foamed in there basically by hand. I mean, you're just hand tearing that stuff out.
Tearing that out. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a lot of work. So, but there's different products out there that we're learning more and more about on, changing how we do things.
Yeah.
But if a wall, exterior wall gets wet, we tear it out. I mean, it's got to come out because the insulation is going to be wet.
And I learned something too with our house. Well, we've been in our house for 2 years, and we spray foamed. It's in the envelope goes all the way up to the top of the roof. But we learned something too. You have to have a different kind of air conditioner if you spray foam a house, because you got to understand, like kind of like what he's talking about with it spray foam. There's no moisture really getting through that, and ours is open cell foam, but so you have to draw that moisture out and get it back out. So you have to have a different kind of air conditioner for that. I learned something new when we did ours. So.
And it's great. I mean, it does its job.
It's wonderful.
But you just got to change some things up.
And that's the kind of things you got to know too. You can't just go spray foam in a house and just put a regular air conditioner in there, because it's going to hold moisture in there. It's not going to get out properly. There's just a lot to that you need to make sure and get a professional on that as well.
Yeah.
When you get ready to do that.
You've had to study a lot.
Many moons of studying.
I mean, you talk about what he just, I mean, you have house builds and type of material. I mean, you got to know all that, and then the chemical we put on there to not discolor or burn it up or whatever that chemical may do or whatnot.
And you get a $50,000 Oriental rug.
Yeah. And
you got an issue with it.
Yeah.
You better know what you're doing, because you can buy a $50,000 Oriental rug.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them problems.
Well, and look, y'all, I want to say something too. I have seen Richie clean rugs that you would think that ain't coming out.
Yeah.
And this rug would be black, and it looked like this one. You can't see this one, but he'd get done cleaning it, and it would be gorgeous.
Yeah, shining.
Like, where did this come from?
So y'all
still do that stuff?
Oh, you do just carpet clean? I know you carpet clean after you do a job. Like, y'all come in and do that. But do you just do like, hey, we'll come clean your carpet?
Any flooring. Any flooring
you clean tile, wood,
ceramic tile, the grout. We
the grout's the worst part.
I know, and we can make that look so good. I'm telling you, if you have not done grout cleaning in your own home, we do a free demo. Okay. If you really want to check it out, let us come in and do a demo.
There you go.
I did it at my house. Let me tell you what I did. My wife had a bunch of boxes.
Discount. You gave yourself a discount, didn't you?
Well, she paid through the nose eventually. But she had boxes, and we just cleaned around the boxes. And so we were cleaning the carpet. We just hit the tile, hit it. And then she went to move the box. She said, what's this? What's this? And I'm like, well, I really didn't think it was dirty, but God almighty, it was different. I had, I'm not going to say who it was, but I had a guy tell me, he said, come clean my tile. He said, it's dark colored. That ain't really going to change, but come clean. We cleaned
He thought it was dark colored.
It was white. I'm talking about bleach white when we got done. He's like, y'all colored that, didn't you? And I'm like, we did not.
No, that's just
it's incredible what they do.
What do you think about mopping or anything else on a tile floor like that? And I've got ceramic at my house, but if you mop that, it goes to the lowest place, which is the grout. And guess what? It's absorbent.
Yes.
That grout is absorbent. So all the dirt, anything else goes in there. So how do you clean it?
Yeah.
How do you clean it? The only way that you clean it correctly, and I've had people tell me, oh, I've got a maid and she goes in there with a toothbrush and bleach and we go.
No way.
And I'm like, but how are you extracting it out?
Yeah.
And that's what's good about what we do. We have a truck mount machine and we can put 1,000 PSI. It's almost like coming in there and pressure washing it.
Oh, man.
And it sucks that water back out so you don't have a mess in there.
Yeah.
So, but it does a great job. Like I said, just give us a chance to come out there and do a free demo.
Yeah.
Well, that could be something good too. If you, as a realtor, we could, tell our clients like, hey, because everybody's always like, it's I guess comes down to a choice of how we negotiate. Hey, clean the house before you sell it or whatever. And some people want a deep clean. Some people just want a broom clean.
Well,
but we often run into but we often run into a situation where like, okay, if my sellers get it. Their people in to do a deep clean, is it going to be what the buyer's expectations are? It's so hard for that, but it just could be something we could say, hey, we got a guy that because a lot of houses we sell have the travertine and the tile and the grout. And, you look at it and you're like, man, these floors are just, it's wear and tear of the house. But now you're saying, actually, I can make them look like new. And that could be the sellers may say, hey, if I can get that to look like it just was like it was when we got down there, that could be a good selling.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like those floors look better, and like, hey, doesn't look like a yellow floor that should have been white.
We did one the other day that a lady put some, I guess it was paintings or pictures under a bed, which most people do, right? Storage.
Yeah.
Stack stuff on top of it. Well, guess what's on the back? Paper, like we talked about earlier.
Oh, no.
And it's colored paper. So you get moisture coming up out of the concrete, hits right there, so it stained it. So now they've got this huge, stain on the carpet. What do? They're going to sell the house, going to have to replace it. But thank God they had some extra carpet. So we were able to patch it. So we could put a insert in there and patch. You couldn't even tell it after it was done. I'm talking about it looked great. So and we got pictures that we do. So we put those on our website and stuff like that. But
I'm just thinking about I just re-rented one of our rental. Me and my wife just re-rented one of our rental properties, and I'm just thinking about the kitchen floor, and I was like, man, I wish I'd have known that. I'd have called you over there because I know that grout. We tried to clean it 2 or 3 times, just like you're talking about. We just got our people that help us, like clean the houses up real good, and they said they spent a lot of time on it. I told Trace, I was like, just still looks gross. So I will now know for next time, or I may even get you over there while the dude's in there, like, let this guy come in and fix this up. So I'm going to keep that in mind for sure.
And we can even seal it afterwards to keep it from absorbing like that. And that's how you can tell. A lot of people say, well, I don't know if mine's sealed or not. Just get you a little bit of water, put it on your finger and drip it on there and let a drop hit. If you see it turn darker, then it's not sealed. But if it repels it, looks like it's beaten up, you do have sealer on there. So
there you go.
Kind of gives you an idea of what's sealed and what's not.
Little takeaway there. Yeah, absolutely.
You want to know.
Well, I know that I called you, had, I think, I've called you several different times, but one of the ones that sticks out, I had friends of mine moving back from Atlanta, and they bought a house. I sold them a house over in, Lake Carolina, and a beautiful home, and man, it was a smooth transaction. It was a great closing on the buyer and seller side, and they were all excited, man, moving back home and everything, and they were exhausted because they're coming from Atlanta and everything. And I sold the house, and I got the insurance, and so we're not even a full 48 hours in them being moved in. They're not even settled. And I remember waking up one morning and to my phone ringing before, my alarms are going off. I mean, it's early morning. And my friend's wife I get on the phone. I thought something happened to her, like the husband, my buddy. I mean, she is squalling, bawling. I mean, I thought, man, what happened?
Yeah.
Somebody have a wreck, or God forbid, a medical issue or whatever. I'm like, hey, I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And she's kind of, I mean, it was distraught, and they're tired too. And she's like, we woke up this morning and the floors are flooded. And I'm like, okay, good, nobody's hurt. But then I go into like, oh, crud. Like, we just bought this house. Like, inspection, everything was great. Well, lo and behold, it's just one of them things, and things happen. Even after inspection, they had hooked up stuff, and a pipe had busted, but where it went off, I don't know if it was where their bedroom is, where it went. I don't know if it was loud enough for they could hear it, or if they're that exhausted, because it really wasn't a big bust anyway. I said, I'm on the way, and I said, let me get over there. But as I'm on the way, they were like, it's bad, and they started sending me pictures and stuff. As I'm on the way, I called Richie. I was like, man, I got a big issue, and I'm not even there yet. They had heart pine floor, and when I got there, I'm talking about swelling and bubbling and pockets of water. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And they found the source, looked like they cut it off. But we called Richie. I called Richie that morning, and that mid-morning, his guys they were already there, and they had hooked up these big plastic things I've never seen before, like big industrial side vacuums, placed the air, the air movers, like you said, and they immediately got into drying that thing. I think it took, I don't know how, the dryers were in there for, it was a lot of water.
It was.
And you could, I was impressed because you could literally see those pumps just soaking that water. I was like, you could see them going up through the tubes from that hardwood. And
is that a dehumidifier?
Actually, it's called an injector dry system. It's a floor drying system.
First time I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Oh,
I was very impressed. I took a lot of pictures. I had to anyway because I'm the insurance agent too, right? So I have to submit this claim, and that's a whole nother thing. I was like, man, we just bought this house, just got the insurance the effective date, and now we're about to turn around and turn claim in. I was all over. But good news is, everything that they did, they were working hand in hand, not just with me, but the carrier. And so they took away a lot of that stress. Carrier obviously covered it. It was a coverable claim, or peril. And awesome. and they got their house put back together and got amazing floors back in there. And it's like it never happens. That's one of my biggest times. I'm telling you, that job and how quick they got there. And then the house over here in
right around the corner.
Crossgates. I finally
closed on recently.
We had it under contract. Home inspection got done, and then we were going back in there just for the guy to look around and see what he's going to do. And I stepped in the hall and I went, "Oh no!" Called him immediately. The same thing. So when he says, like he says, his guys are going to be out there, or he will, 100%. So I appreciate your services, sir, because he saved me on some real estate, on that and insurance. You know what I mean? So
I do something that most companies don't do, and I guarantee you, 90% of these big box stores don't do, is I actually roll the phones to my house at night.
I know, I've talked to you.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, if you call that number, office number, wherever it's sat on my shirt, but call that office number, it rings by my head. I don't like crank calls. I do get them from time to time. But 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, you have an issue. That's how serious we are about it. You're going to wake me up. I'm going to answer the phone. Had one last night at 10 o'clock. It was, a sales pitch, but robocall type deals. But it does happen. But if somebody calls, we're going to go.
Yeah. Well, I called you on the one over here, and that was recently. And when we found out about it, it was like 7:38, and I was like, man, I even told my wife, I hate to call him. It's supper time, family time. I get it because that's how I feel. But I called and he answered, and he was just like, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, dude, I hate to bother. He's like, no, man, what you got? And I told him, he's like, we'll be out there. I said, look, we got the water turned off. He's like, well, we'll be out there the first thing before I got over there, they're already there hooked up. So good testament, man.
Well, thank you.
You do a good job at holding by that word.
I want to ask you a question. What is the craziest thing that you've seen? Is there a story that comes to mind? Or the grossest?
He's already talked about
I'm sure over the years you've
blowing
seen,
up. Ugh.
Is there one that comes to mind that just...
I'll tell you a real sad one, but it was one of the grossest ones that I've ever seen. Is this guy evidently created a breeding area for dogs inside his house. I think it was a rental deal. Master bedroom. This is how bad it was. He put shavings down. He bought things and just poured it all over the ground. So, but when I went in there was feces. Your feet would stick as you walked in. Man. It was. We're talking about through the whole house, not just that one room. But the dogs evidently were so hungry they chewed baseboards. They chewed the walls. The walls were chewed up halfway up the wall. It was totally disgusting. The whole house was disgusting. So you had sewage throughout. You had all that going on inside. They had puppies in there, and it was skeletons. And, I mean, it was just really gross stuff that you have to deal with.
And people lived in that.
They lived in that, and you wonder sometimes. We see a lot of different things like that, and it's sad. But there's some good stories that you turn something that's bad better. You got to flip that house. And so you got to tear all that stuff out. Who's going to go in there and clean all that up?
Sounds like one that needed a match.
Really. We wish.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, even the ones that need a match, go in there and take care of it, knock it out.
And we go into, we do, we have clean, like suicide cleanup type stuff.
Oh man, you've seen really bad stuff.
Rough.
It is. And usually the family members, your heart goes out to them because they've lost a loved one. But they don't want to go in there and see what you see. And you got to go in there and there's psychologically, it's hard to go in there and see all that too, especially if it's some young person or something like that. It's got a lot of
I didn't even think about that side of it, because you're talking about clean. I mean, you deal with I guess there's no, hey, we don't do this, we do this. I mean, you clean all of it up, and then you have to have psychologically, but then you have to be able to go in there and
safely do it.
And then with smells, and you not feel nauseated or whatever else. I don't know. My stomach's light. I don't know.
And then you probably think, you don't want to leave anything behind either. Because if you leave anything behind, I'm sure that's
absolutely.
You don't want a family member coming up to you and going, "Hey, y'all missed a spot." I mean,
you don't want that. No, not at all.
So that's a real serious.
We had another crazy one. It's a little funnier, but had a company come in with a car, had an odor in it, and they said, "Well, I want to be honest with you." Said, we found some squirrels that were dead in the car. I said, do what? He said, we found 3 squirrels. One of them was in the door of the car. I said, a squirrel don't get in the door of a car. What are you talking about? And he said, but it's got a bad odor to it. And sure enough, it did. It smelled like dead squirrel. So anyway, I said, are you sure you got them all out? He said, I don't know. We hadn't looked. We found 4 more. So it was 6 squirrels, 7 squirrels up in this car. So somebody killed those squirrels and placed them in there. So it was somebody that was disgruntled.
Oh, they were mad at this person.
Oh, yeah. And so, but it reeked, So we got all that out, cleaned it all up, had to, of course, clean everything, headliners.
That dude was hiding squirrels all over that car. I mean, you think there'd be an easier way if you're disgruntled with somebody, be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out there and kill about 6 squirrels
out there.
Throw that
I don't like him no more.
I bet that dude didn't like whoever was either.
No. We called it the squirrel car from then on, but they were real pleased with it after. We used a little ozone machine to help get some of that odor out. But we specialize in odors as well. So you got smoke odor. Let's say you have a house that had a smoker in it. How do you get that smell out?
It's hard.
It is very hard. But we specialize in that kind of thing as well. So don't just go in there and paint it. As you paint it, you lock in those odors because that paint locks that smoke smell or tar in.
Remove them first. You guys out there, remove it, and then you can paint it.
And yes, we wipe ceilings, walls, floors. We wipe all that down. We have a certain chemical. And there again, we have classes that we go through to become certified on odors. First thing they teach us in odor control class is you got to remove the source. What's the source? If you got a smoke odor, you got to remove the person that's smoking. If we go in there and clean it and he comes back in smoking, it's going to be smelling again. So you got to remove. Same thing with pets. How do you remove this odor? Well, is the pet's going to be removed or not? No. Well, they're probably going to do it again. Probably not going to remove that odor. But if the pets are removed, then you might be able to get that odor out.
There you go.
But then you got to recreate the condition. So what do you mean by recreate the condition? You take a car, for instance, that's got a bad odor. Maybe the car sat at Walmart parking lot in the heat in the summer of August in Mississippi. It probably got 150 degrees inside there. Well, as materials warm up, they open up. So now the pores of your car open up. You're driving that odor deeper inside your vehicle. Inside the seats, inside the cushion, inside the dash, all that open up, you get those odors locked in there. So we go in and we can clean stuff, but we like to recreate it. We like to put our chemicals in there, put it back out there in the sun, let it get hot again, So those pores open up so we can drive our chemical in there.
Okay, and then make it fresh and clean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, and so with all that being said too, with the car stuff, so do y'all do like car detailing on the inside, or you is that something that y'all do, or do y'all clean seats, or?
Now we don't wipe down dashes. We're not like that. But now we do clean.
But you'll do the cloth and the carpet and
absolutely,
all that stuff. Okay.
Absolutely. And we usually do stuff that is nobody else can get out. Some things that are just really tough. But now we can handle that.
Yeah, I feel like
I was just curious.
Son had his last fall ball tournament. We had to drive from the coast on Sunday back, and when he took his socks off, I feel like I can't get that smell out of my truck right now.
That's a unique stinky smell right there.
I might need to get old Richie in there and get that sweaty sock smell out of there.
They can do it.
Absolutely.
These boys they can be rank.
They can do it.
So if you spray the chemical, like you said, you go in there and wipe everything down. Is there a time period you're like, hey, nobody should really be in this house for? Or is it like, hey, we wiped it down clean, you can get in there? Is there, with the chemicals, is there any type of like, we need to let it dry, set, and whatever? Or is it just, you can get back in when we're done?
It depends on what we're doing and how much of what we're doing. Sometimes we have to fog a house.
Yeah.
It depends on what you fog with. Sometimes you fog with an antimicrobial to kill, any type of germ, virus, anything in the air. We did that during COVID. If you fog it, we wait 4 hours before you can get back in, usually with smoke smell and stuff like that. If you can handle the smell, we always tell people to give it 24 hours if you can.
Yeah, okay.
Just to kind of dissipate so it's not quite so strong.
Yeah, well, yeah. I had one in Castle Woods. It was a great house, but man, they've been smoking in there for who knows. And I wish I'd have known, because that was one of my big deterrents. So I've learned another service you can help. So any realtor out there, think about yes, there's going to be a cost to the service, but at the end of the day, if you can extract that smell, whether it's pet or cigarette smoke or whatever, and then people come in and they don't smell, they're not hit with that. And it's like you said, and now maybe they've refreshed some paint or whatever. That's going to be a quicker sell, maybe at the appropriate price where they don't negotiate, well, daggone, this is, I got to do all these things. So just that prep, that's a good thing to know, that you can really get in there and hammer out odors like that. Specifically, because often when we do smell outside of pets is smoke.
And another one too, in certain cultures, I know in Indian culture, they cook with a lot of curry. Is that something that y'all can do as well?
Absolutely. We get that all the time as well, and especially on rentals.
Because people have different, sensitivities to these types of smells too.
Sure.
And so, if you have a more pleasant showing experience, that's money would be well spent, to get that out of there. So, if a listing agent, I'm going to use that as a tool. You know what I mean? As a listing agent, like, hey, look, and that's just something I can, we can
right now that you walk in there and curry is just right in your face. But that's their culture. They cook with it.
But I think sellers would be willing to utilize that service to get their house sold quickly and appropriately.
What do you think about when you walk in a house? What are you doing? You're usually looking down to walk and see where you're walking, right? Where your steps are. Well, as you walk, you're looking at flooring. And so that's the first thing you see. And what's the next thing is that smell. You smell something.
Connected the smell to whatever you
exactly. So that's what you want to make sure. The two things I would think in selling a house, you want to make sure floors are clean, they look good, because that's where they're looking when they're walking.
What's it smell like?
You want to make sure it smells good.
That's I tell anytime I have a showing on any of mine, I tell them, I say, look, y'all just tidy up, and usually it's already clean because we're past that point if we're showing the house, and then I say, light some candles. Smells good, smells warm and homey and cozy, and make it smell good in there.
Bake some cookies. It always smells good. Nothing like home, like baked cookies or something.
What were you gonna say? I didn't mean to cut you off. Something about smoke.
Well, I was just that that smoke too. Like you could have a white wall in a house, and that tar gets out there, and that's another thing that sticks and creates that. And then you can wipe a baseboard down, and somebody's been smoking a house for a long time, and kind of like the tile floor. And
pull a deer off the wall, and it's just a white where the deer was.
That's right.
The rest of the wall is yellow, and it's white.
That's right. Man, that's interesting, man. I learned a lot of stuff. more services than I thought. You know, I mean, I obviously knew you did a lot of stuff, but just like the prep work, you know what I mean? Like before you list a house, you know, if you have an odor, you can come in. It's not just yes, restoration. That's probably a big,
for all our realtors listening.
Yeah, so restoration, pet, odor,
mold,
vehicles, mold.
Yeah. And we're not.
Is there anything we're missing?
Well, we do stone floor. I mean, any type floor. We talked about that, but I mean, stone flooring is another thing. Like you're talking about travertine or
brick.
We do brick. We do brick pavers.
You know, the brick's kind of coming back in these new builds. You know, where they have a brick kitchen floor or a laundry room or something. Yeah, accent walls and stuff like that. So.
And we find that a lot of times homeowners will put something on there that they shouldn't. Take for instance, mop and glow. It's one of the worst things in the world. You put that on there and allow it to set over years. It darkens as it goes, and man, it's hard to get off. We've actually gotten it up and had to take spatulas and actually push across the floor on brick, and made a bowling ball out of the finish. I'm talking about it's that much finish they put over there on 10 years of mop and glow. So, you know, but just be careful with what you put on there. I always tell people, if you buy flooring, and let's say you go to a retail store and you buy the flooring, find out from the manufacturer what they recommend you clean it with. And that's what you need to clean it with. Because if you get an inspector that comes to that house and asks you, hey, what do y'all clean this with? If you tell them the wrong thing, it'll void the warranty. So you got to be careful what you tell an inspector, because I have to write it down, whatever you say. And you can say only water. I've actually had a customer tell me I only use water on my flooring. Well, guess what it says?
Don't use water.
It says do not use water. Oh my gosh. It absolutely did. And guess what? They voided the warranty.
You mean reading those manuals actually means something? You know, everybody gets something like, I'll put that over the side.
I'm not reading this mess.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
Just like the instructions. I put this together without the shelf without instructions. That's how good I am.
You're so talented.
Well, a lot of flooring manufacturers, when it comes to carpet especially, they say that you have to have a certified firm, ICRC certified firm, to clean our flooring for a year warranty to be valid. Saying clean it at least minimum once a year. A lot of people ask me how much is too much. I had a customer that we cleaned her flooring, her carpets every other Tuesday. Every other Tuesday, twice a month.
We're getting there. Yeah,
we did her carpet, and it was a dark green carpet, and it looked as beautiful the day we left. She finally pulled it up, put wood down. Yeah. But it looked beautiful and had no problems with it. So a lot of times people think, oh, it's too much. And I hear people say, don't clean it. You know, if you got new carpet, don't clean it, because once they clean it, it just gets dirtier faster. And what that means is they probably had somebody come in there and use the wrong chemical on it, and they pull the Scotch guarding off of it and never put any back on, so they have a problem with it.
I have probably been destroying my floors for years.
Probably.
Everybody
does.
Yeah, I mean, does. Hearing this, I'm like, man, there's dadgum. You just kind of got me thinking about, And we have, let's talk about scored floors.
Yeah.
Because that's stained. Yeah. So how does that, you know what I mean? Like, there's probably a lot of people cleaning those things the wrong way. You got a stain set in on concrete.
Right.
Who knows how to? You think it's just concrete. So.
And there's usually a finish on top of that, and you got to know how to clean it. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, I just put bleach on it." Well, guess what bleach does? It takes that finish off. So you got to be careful what you put on there. So find out from the manufacturer, and let's say you have a company like me come out there and put a finish on your floor. Find out from that manufacturer, the finish, the people that make the finish, what they recommend to clean it with.
You would be able to tell, hey, we sealed your floor.
This is what you need to clean it. Yeah, exactly. And we always say one thing that's usually safe is a pH neutral, chemical that you can put on there, floor cleaner. pH neutral. What does that mean? Everybody remembers pHs back in chemistry in high school. You have an acid and you have a base or an alkalinity. We call it alkalinity, and it goes from 0 to 14. 7 is water. So if you get something that's kind of neutral, you get. But what people don't understand is if I get a pH of, let's say, 10, you think, oh, it's no big deal. It's 3 more than 7. No big deal. But it goes in increments of 10. So you start getting, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000 times stronger than what you should have. Now you damaged the floor.
I know now I have really damaged because I do not do well in chemistry.
Yeah, that's what I saw them. They're terrible. I'm just kidding. Ain't nothing wrong with your floor.
Well, that's a lot of good information.
That is a lot.
And I feel like I can take not only this from. I hope listeners take this too. Sellers, I can take this to sellers. I can take this from my own personal. Who knew floors were so complicated?
There is a lot.
There's a lot. Yeah, for sure.
And they're changing. Everything is changing. You know, I mean, used to you had nylon carpet and olefin carpet. Now they're doing blends. So now they're putting olefin and nylon together. So now you have a different plethora of product. But that's why we go to school. That's why we actually continue the education. It's not just one certification. It's continuing that education so that you know what's coming out. And I love to know more than anybody else. So if Ryan worked for another company and you're the homeowner and both of us are in there, I want to know more than he does.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I want to know.
Well, this is a get what you pay for type thing. You know, if you have a good old boy like me come in with just a shop vac,
man, we're gonna clean these floors up.
We got it real good, you know. And then you have a professional come in. I mean, but I think that's probably in every industry too. You know, that's why we want to promote, you know, the folks that we trust and that have had a good track record and local and everything like that, because it does matter. I mean. Yeah, it's going to be a cost. You're going to get that money back, though. You know what I mean? If you prep your house right or clean up, or even preventive maintenance. The lady that cleaned her floors twice a month, if she would have left that carpet and she sold that house, like somebody would have thought that was brand new carpet. My mom is a big stickler. She cleans her carpet fairly often, too. And I know a lot of people are getting away from carpet, but you just said I can clean the solid surface floors, too.
Absolutely. Carpet's a great thing. A lot of people back in the day, I have asthma.
Yeah.
And they used to say, pull out the carpet,
yeah,
because it traps. Well, now they're saying it's good for that carpet to trap the dust out of the air. So now it's not in the air. You're not inhaling.
Yeah.
You get a hard surface. You stir it up as you walk because you get convection where you're just actually get those dust bunnies. Everybody sees dust bunnies in their house if you have hard flooring like that. And how do you get that? Well, I mean, you're stirring up that dust. So carpet will hold it, but you got to empty it. It's kind of like a sink. You've got to empty that dirt out of there. And the best way to do it is have a professional come out there and do it. And I can tell you there is a difference in people that come out and do it. Some people have portable units. Some people have truck mount units. Let's say you go rent something at Kroger and you get their chemical and you spray it on there and you use your it'll kill you, number one, because it's hard to do.
Facts. I've done it. I'll never do it again.
No, not at all. You can save a few dollars, but that machine costs maybe $700-800, and ours are about $30,000 for the machine inside a van. Yeah, that's what I say every time we buy one. It's $30,000 worth, but it has a specialty. It can do a lot. So it has better suction, better pressure. We can turn it up and down, so it doesn't have to be wide open all the time. You know, we have to be finicky on certain things.
Sure. Depends on the material.
It does. What you're actually cleaning. Obviously, on wood floor, we don't want to go in there and soak it with water. So, there's other things that we do in situations like that. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But we started a new website, and
you
can go to themoldman.net.
Themoldman.net.
It takes you to our website, our ASEnow.com.
We just got our title.
Okay, so
The Mold Man.
The Mold Man.
This
episode just got a name.
Instead of .org, it's .net because we're capturing the mold. So it's themoldman.net.
Look at you being clever.
Yeah.
So you got themoldman.net, and then you have ASEnow.com.
Okay, ASENOW.com. But go to our website. It's got tons of things on there. We do something else I hadn't talked about is upholstery cleaning. We talked a little bit about cars, but couches, chairs. We actually do leather as well. We clean, we recolor leather. We can actually repair it.
I know for a fact, man, chairs and couches can get nasty.
Dude, you talking about I don't know a magician with leather?
Oh yeah,
it's like magic.
Yeah,
seeing a leather chair and then him, I don't know how he does what he does.
Yeah,
with leather.
Well, he's good with chemistry. He's already told us that.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I can't speak enough about how amazing. You take this to another level, and you are professional and you know what you're doing. And I hope if you're listening and you have something that you need,
I appreciate
cleaned
that.
up, you call Richie. He'll take care of you.
Yeah. I mean, take your list. I mean, as a realtor, you know, I mean, I definitely will do that. I'll give my people, my sellers, an option if there's something that I feel like, you know, if I smell something or we see, you know, because we're always looking, you know, Ryan's right. We get asked, what should I do to get ready? And I'll just start saying that, hey, I've got a guy, you know, there's a hint of pet odor smell in here, or we got carpets, whatever. Like, let's get this, you know, let's get this taken care of, get the pets moved out. Or specifically, it's easier if it's a vacant home. You don't have to worry about off putting a pet or stopping your, you know, whatever. If you are still smoking inside your house, whatever it is, I mean, that's to each their own. But I can now, like, I learned a lot from you. Like I said, I've already used your services restoration. I did not know that we could take it a step farther. So any realtor out there, hit Richie up, make your listings a little bit more appealing, man.
Absolutely.
We want to help. We want to help sell the house.
Yeah.
And we can actually do some amazing things with repairs and stuff like that without having to replace a whole room or something like that.
Yeah.
We've actually went in with ceramic tile that are cracked, and we can actually fill in those cracks and recolor it so you don't see the cracks in the ceramic tile. So we want to help sell the house.
Yeah.
And you know, not trying to, you know, keep the seller from knowing this, but we want to make sure that we make the house look as appealing as possible and smell good. So we do all that. Anything we can do to help, that's awesome. Man, that's what we want to do. And we give free estimates. So we come out there, cost you nothing, let us look at it. We'll be glad to try to take care of whatever you got.
Free estimates, folks.
Free estimates.
What can you
free?
They ain't a whole lot in life free.
Yeah,
that's true.
Might as well at least see what it looks like. You know what I mean? Nothing better than that. Man, this has been amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
knew we were going to learn from you today. You're a smart guy.
I knew we were too.
He's an Ole Miss guy.
Hey,
makes sense.
Hey, I mean, he did. To be an Ole Miss fan, he gave us a lot.
He did. Yeah, that's right.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank
y'all.
Y'all.
Well, I will take us out.
Yeah, man. I think that was great.
So much for being here and just taking the time to come talk.
The time is what we appreciate,
and our listeners and viewers, and we appreciate you very much.
A lot of good nuggets today, man.
Yeah, y'all give him a call.
Yeah,
Richie Lott, a.k.a.
Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode. God bless.
Thank you.